What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City daily transfer update. This window just got very interesting now for Manchester City, with transfers warming up left, right and centre. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe, and I'm going to keep you guys up to date this summer every single day here on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, and do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this video. Got some contract news, and we've got the very latest on Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola. Now, Jamie Jackson has given an update on him and says that Pep Guardiola is going to decide on his future and to whether he wants to leave Manchester City at the end of the expiry of his contract on June 30th of 2025, or extend his stay at Manchester City and extend his contract. The decision on that's going to be made at some point between December of this year and February of next year. We've seen it a couple of times before where Pep Guardiola's gone to the last few months of his contract. Normally by November, December time he makes a decision, and the last couple of times, of course, he's signed contract extensions at Manchester City. So hopefully that will be the case this time as well. It is reported that Pep Guardiola is still undecided on what he wants to do next. I'm wondering maybe if Pep Guardiola is just waiting to see what the result of the 115 charges are going to be, because I can imagine when Pep Guardiola leaves Manchester City, he'll want to hand it over with Manchester City in the very best possible position that they can be in. And so if there is any punishment, or Man City needing a bit of a regroup, a bit of a build-up once more, I think Pep Guardiola would extend and see that through to ensure that when he does naturally transition it to somebody else, Manchester City are right at the very top of their game. Now, if Man City end up getting cleared of the 115 charges and Manchester City continue to push and go from strength to strength, maybe I can see Pep Guardiola leaving next summer. We'll wait and see. So we could kind of put that to the back burner and wait for that once we get into the actual football season. Now, moving on to the outs, got the latest on Manchester City right back Yan Couto. Now, Patrick Berger over in Germany has said that Borussia Dortmund have now reached an agreement in principle with Yan Couto to sign him this summer. There is still a concern over the fee for the player, with Manchester City believed to be asking for too much for Borussia Dortmund for what they are willing to pay right now. I've heard Borussia Dortmund are willing to pay roughly around £20 million for Yan Couto, with Manchester City pushing for double that with £40 million. I'm not too sure on how much negotiations there are between the two clubs and how much Manchester City are willing to negotiate on that £40 million. But the fact that Dortmund have persevered and got an agreement in place with the player tells me that they are interested and maybe are confident that they can negotiate that. So maybe they might meet City halfway and get towards £30 million, get a buyback clause, a sell-on fee on there. Maybe Man City will negotiate. We'll have to wait and see. Now, moving on, we've also got the very latest on Kalvin Phillips, and Simon Stone at the BBC has said that Kalvin Phillips is now back in pre-season training with Manchester City. He said City are struggling right now to find a club for him for next season, so he is going to be training and staying around the Manchester City first team squad, and he will be travelling for pre-season to the United States of America as well. And with Manchester City having numerous players at international tournaments on holiday, and players not being back for another 4 to 5 weeks, and the Community Shield and the start of the Premier League coming up, Kalvin Phillips, if he puts in impressive performances for the 4 games in the United States in pre-season, I can maybe see Man City wanting to use Kalvin Phillips, certainly for the first few weeks of the season. So maybe if he can impress, it could be redemption time here for Kalvin Phillips. Or is it too late? We'll have to wait and see. Now, moving on, we've got the latest on Julian Alvarez, and Cesar Luis Merlo over in Argentina has said that Atletico Madrid are back on the scene with Julian Alvarez and are once more interested in signing Alvarez from Manchester City. It's believed that Atletico want to thrash out a deal to try and sign Alvarez. Alvarez is wanting to move to Spain. He's keen on a move to the capital, to Madrid, and it does appeal to him to go to Atletico Madrid. Now, I think he would prefer a move to Real Madrid. that move isn't going to happen, so he'd have to settle for Atletico de Madrid instead. I think that'd be a really good choice for him. Morata at Atletico Madrid set to sign for AC Milan means there's now a good opening for a striker, so signing Julian Alvarez, if he's going to get regular playing time, which I think he would get at Atletico Madrid, I think that move does make sense from all parties. The only big problem here that Alvarez and Atletico have got is Manchester City want £80+ million for Alvarez. Atletico, I don't think, have £80 million and don't want to pay £80 million, but for City to adequately replace Alvarez, that's the money that we're asking for. And I wouldn't be entirely convinced that Man City would go out and sign a striker, but would maybe look for a more versatile player, an attacker, someone that can play in attacking midfield, maybe someone who can play out wide. We'd have to wait and see with what City wanted to do. Very interesting. We'll keep my eyes and ears open on that. And moving on, we've also got a big update on Ederson in the last 24 hours. Obviously, I said yesterday that we'll get into crunch time this week with Ederson. It continues to be that big week with Fabrizio Romano saying an agreement is in place now between Al-Nassr in Saudi Arabia and Ederson for personal terms. Fabrizio Romano now says it's up to the clubs to agree a fee. Fabrizio Romano has said that the first bid has come in the last 24 hours, worth £25 million from Al-Nassr, which Manchester City have immediately rejected. Now, Jack Gaughan has said that that bid has also been rejected, with Fabrizio Romano saying City are wanting somewhere between 50 to 60 million euros. So we're looking at over £50 million for Al-Nassr to make that transfer happen. With Ederson having a couple of years left on his contract and into his 30s as well, I think if Man City could get north of £50 million, I'd be semi-happy with that. I'm not entirely happy about Ederson leaving because I think he's a world-class goalkeeper and I think City will struggle to replace him, and I can see City going down the route of signing a number 2 rather than a new number 1 to give Ortega Moreno that 12-month extension that he's been given on his contract as Manchester City's first choice keeper, to see how he does, and Man City then to assess the situation again next summer upon how Ortega does for 12 months, basically a 12-month trial to see how he does fare. Now, moving on to the ins, got the latest on Dani Olmo, and Fabrizio Romano has confirmed what I was saying yesterday in my transfer update, that currently Manchester City not interested in signing Dani Olmo this summer from RB Leipzig. It is Tuesday now, so we'll see if Di Marzio was right or wrong. I think that he's wrong on this one, if I'm being completely honest, but we'll see. Now, moving on to the final transfer, got a very quick update on Savio, and Sport have said that Savio is officially going to be unveiled as a Manchester City player tomorrow, July 17th, on JSGC's 29th birthday. What a day. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to Savio becoming a Manchester City player and being officially announced tomorrow as well, with hopefully him wearing the City shirt and holding it up as well and getting all the content dropped with all the interviews and social media posts and everything. Looking forward to it, so stay tuned for that. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, do leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, and I'll see you religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.